Hey, are you a salesperson that's wanting to get more confidence as a salesperson and always asking like, how do I gain more confidence? If that's you, check out this interview that I just did with one of our clients. We do interviews every single week with different clients or different industries, and I'm gonna break down the top 3 things we've trained her to get her skill level up here and her confidence level to match that. Check out this video, I think you're gonna enjoy it. We are live today, so every Wednesday we go live here in our Facebook group, Sales Revolution, and we interview a client. Typically we try to pick like completely different industries every week, and we always get the clients to kind of agree that they're going to give you some golden nuggets. So they're going to give you a little bit of some training, so maybe some questions we've trained them to ask, and how to use their tonality, and how do you prevent objections from happening in your prospect's mind. So if you're brand new to this Facebook group, you just started, like you joined here today, I think there's 130 some thousand of you here in this Facebook group, and you're like, who the heck is this guy? Well, this is my Facebook group. So I'm Jeremy Miner, I'm the founder of 7th Level. We are a sales training organization that trains people exactly like you watching me and Gina here. So we train salespeople like you, we train sales professionals like you, sales executives like you, coaches, sales managers, consultants, business owners, entrepreneurs, professional service, anything that's sold. And we train you certain techniques, certain questions, and how to use your tonality that work with human behavior rather than work against it. Now that's a big difference here that we're going to break down here with Gina here, one of our clients. And we're going to show you, this is called NEPQ, it stands for Neuro Emotional Persuasion Questions, okay? Now, if you're brand new to the Facebook group, well, here's what I also want you to do as well. Let's just actually do this. So in the comments section, as more and more people get on here, I want each of you who are on the live right now, I want you to go down to the comments section, and I want you to post #live. I'm actually going to do it myself here. So go down to the comments section. I want each of you to post #live, and if you're on the replay, I want you to post #replay. Okay, now let's talk about you, Gina, because nobody cares about me. They just care about what we're going to train them, right? You know, they're just all in it for themselves, these salespeople that want to learn how to sell more. Okay, so Gina, let's walk us through. First of all, let's start off. Like, what industry are you actually in?
I am focused on annuity and life insurance.
Okay, so you're in the life insurance industry, annuities. Do you sell like IULs as well, like Index Universal Life?
Yeah, that's the only thing I do. I sell IUL. I don't do whole life or term, just IUL.
Okay, so you got eyes. Now, how long, first of all, how long have you been in this industry that you're in now?
Since I started 2017
okay, so,
until now, so roughly 8-9 years.
Is that the first time you got into sales? Was 8-9 years ago?
Yes, I never been in sales. I was a stay-home mom for 16 years.
Okay.
And I was struggle after divorce, and I just have 4 kids. My baby just born 4 weeks.
Oh wow.
And I lost homes. I have no job.
So hold on. 8 years ago, you go through this divorce, which is a pretty, life-shattering moment. It's a big change. You got 4 kids. You've got a newborn, and now you're like, hey, I got to earn money. So why did you choose sales?
I didn't choose sales. I think because I have a drive to do something, and I'm searching a lot of career or area, anything I can in my possibility.
Yeah.
And then a few years later, I met someone who recruited me in network marketing, and I never know that it's sales.
Okay.
But many years lead me to the sales position because I know recruiting is not for me. Yeah. And after 1 year, luckily I found you on my
I looked you up. You're one of our first 1,000 clients, which is crazy. So that's all the way back in like 2017, almost 2018, when I started the company by myself. I think we just checked today. We have 183 people, 183 employees now on the team. It's kind of crazy, the growth. Okay, so you got into sales 8 years ago, and now before you got into NEPQ training, were you already in the industry selling, trying to figure it out, or how did that work?
When I start my network marketing, yes, there a little sale in there, but we sell opportunity, and then we force people to get the product
Okay.
And after 1 year, I got a lot of chargeback, and they quit. I was so tired. I looking for many sales training on Facebook, on book, old school, and then I found you 2017.
Okay,
and
so
then
you're in there a year before, kind of were struggling with the way, was the company trying to train you like old school ways, or what happened?
they never train us. We
Okay.
just have to figure it out, and we just push the product. We have to have a system. You
Okay.
come in, you have to get this and that.
Yeah.
It's no sale. And I feel like that is like a pusher, and it's not like bringing any value.
It doesn't work that well. So okay, that makes more sense then. Okay, so you find the training, which, you know, when we launched, it's pretty much the end of 2017. We had one basic product called the 8-Week Academy. Now we have like 37 different training programs. But that product is so basic compared to what we do now, as you know, because you're still a client. You're always learning, wanting to sell more. But even in that basic product, like, what did you, even a month, 2 months, 3 months in, what did you started to notice that was different when you were talking with your prospects compared to the way you used to sell before that? I think everybody wants to know that.
Few months after I attend NEPQ program, I feel like just a different road open for me. And I'm not here to sell anyone, but I'm here to help people to solve the problem.
Yeah.
And I got so many help from you. I realized, like, open the psychology. They just start to tell me a lot of story that why they want it.
Yeah.
And just only 3 months, my income just come up like 50% compared with whatever I did like the whole year. Only 3 months, I made more than a year that I've been in network marketing.
That's good, and that was the basic program. I can't even, like, that training program, when I look at what we have now, I'm almost embarrassed. I'm like, that sucked. But, you know, we got hundreds of testimonials even that first year from that basic program. Far more advanced now in the nuances with all the different industry-specific stuff that we do. So tell me this, because you started getting results. You know, you got up to 6 figures pretty quickly with your industry. You know, I wanted to interview you because I met you at a live event we did about 5-6 weeks ago in Dallas, and I'm like, we need to interview her in this Facebook group. So, and I know your big numbers that you're in now. From what I understand, you're the top salesperson in your entire company, right?
Yes.
And how many salespeople are in your company?
Around like few thousand people.
Yeah. So everybody hear that. So Gina, 6-7 years ago, was at the bottom pull of this company. You know, a company that has 2,000 or 3,000 salespeople is not a small company, okay? So she went from, like, would you say you were down there, like on the bottom in 2017, 2018? And now, you know, I think even after 3 or 4 years, you're like all the way up to the top. I know you're at the very top salesperson. That's quite an accomplishment, so well done. So you got into the training. I noticed that you're in our other training programs. You got into Advanced Inner Circle. That's kind of, it's industry specific. What caused you to jump from like the fundamentals course to more of the Advanced Inner Circle where it's industry specific? What did you feel like you were maybe missing to cause you to get into that program?
I feel like even though I know about NEPQ, but I really need to build my skills because I still mix up between the old selling and the new one. And of course, I need a long-term training. Just not like I make 100,000 and then I'm so satisfied. I sit back and I'm okay with that. But I really want to do more. And I believe that the only way I can improve my skill and I can make more income and support all my kids. And I did. It's like 5 years, maybe 6 years in a row. I go up, I don't go down. Yeah,
you've always gone up. And I always say this, you know, like my good friend Brad Lee, the CEO of Lightspeed, says, is training something you did or is training something you do? Well, training is something you did if you want to stay average. Training is something you do daily in anything if you want to be the best, if you want to make the most sales. As a salesperson, it's something you have to do if you want to double, triple your sales you're getting now. If it's something you did, you'll just stay at the same level. Okay, so let's give everybody some, you know, some good, some golden nuggets. And then, hey, what I want you guys to do in the comments is I want you to ask Gina and I any questions. So here's what I want you to do in the comments section, because I'm going to take about 5 or 6 questions here as we go the next 20 minutes. and we're going to answer these questions for you. So whatever's on your mind about sales or selling, ask Gina and I the question. Now, it'll help us if you tell us what industry you're in, and if you do inbound, outbound, or cold calling. So if you're like, I sell SaaS and I do inbound leads from an SDR and my question is this, or I sell doors, I'm in the home improvement space and I do leads where I meet them at the home and my question is this. So I want you guys to start posting questions in the comment section, and Gina and I will pick some of the best questions and answer those for you. Do we have an agreement, Gina? We'll answer some of their questions? Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. All right, so walk me through. Give me an example of a good connection question that we trained you to use. There's several you have to use for your industry, but maybe just one example that we've trained you in, and how your prospect reacts to that when you use that.
My funnel is my social media.
Uh-huh.
So 100% cold people,
Yeah.
like cold market.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have my YouTube channel, and they book the call on my site.
Okay.
So I based on that and give them a call. So first I just call them and just say, hey, hi, I'm just Gina. I'm a 50 state license, and recently I just see you booked me on your calendar, and then and I just I'm here to just find out like what can I help you. You talk about like you're looking for IUL. So what kind of life insurance you're looking for your family? And after that, I wait for them answer a little bit, get to know their family. And I ask them like, have you ever been down there looking for several type of life insurance? Or did you talk with any? And
what I'm going to show you, since I think you're back into IC again as well, so I'm going to show you a few tweaks on that. That's really good. A couple of tweaks I'm going to show you is like, is this John? Yeah, John, hey, it's Gina, Gina Tang. So I'm going to show you how to reformat that first little part where it's more of a familiar tone, where the prospect is like, oh yeah, like, because they kind of remember you because they filled out the form, but they might not necessarily remember it because you're still calling them, right? Is it at like a set time they book with you that you're calling? Is that what you're doing?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, is this John? Time. Yeah, John. Hey, it's Gina. Gina Tang. Looks like you booked on my calendar now about looking at possible help to like really grow your retirement and retire on time, right? Or whatever the end result is of what you're doing. Okay. That connection question. I'll show you that one you have is good. I'm going to spruce that up a little bit in IC. Okay. All right. Here's a good question here from the first gentleman. Eric says, hey, Gina, great to meet you. You mentioned that getting better at asking questions has been the best part of NEPQ. Can you provide some examples? I think, Eric, that's what we're going to do today. Now, besides questions, what's another really important thing that you've learned in the advanced inner circle that's really elevated your ball game to where you're at, besides just better questions?
I have a very good staff to support me. For example, like Maggie, Albert, and all the inner circle helping me. And whenever I just feel like I just relax a little bit, I get a push, I get accountability. So that is helping me to don't forget that I have to move forward. I cannot stay at the same spot. So I really need that.
Okay, so some of the accountability coaches that we have with inner circle clients, we give accountability coaches that work with clients as well to keep them accountable to learn the training. Actually, that's good. Okay, so let's you guys post more questions. We're gonna answer those. Now let's go to situation questions. What's a good situation? Because there's several you have to ask for each industry, including yours, as you know. But give them maybe one example of a situation question and typically how your prospects respond to that, why it's so important.
Something like I handle a lot of big annuity, and this is a high net worth client. So they usually like hold about like millions or 2 millions or 500,000 above. And when I talk to them, the situation, I just say like, where are you putting your money? Where is it work for you now? So I'm trying to find out like, are they involved with stock or money market or anything something else, like mutual
So
fund.
walk me through, where are you investing your money now to make sure you're getting a good rate of return and eventually being able to retire, just so I understand? Because that is it for what you're selling, with annuities and that space, with these high net worth investors. Situation questions, you have to help not only you understand what their real situation is, but more importantly, you're helping them understand themselves what their real situation is, because most don't understand their real situation when we first start talking to them, right? How do they respond to that type of question?
They just I start to I hope I make something make some money from my 401k, but it's been losing a lot in the stock market, and I'm not happy. And if they respond like that, I'm gonna ask you like, so if is there anything that held you back that you don't roll over that 401k to another safe investment that you don't lose in the principal and help you to gain
what's held you back from moving those funds over to somewhere where you're not going to lose the principal, though? Yeah, so it's like you're asking them in like a confused tone, like you're not quite understanding why they haven't changed that, which gets the prospect to sometimes realize like, oh, I never really thought about it. It gets them to like question their way of thinking that's allowed the problem to stay the same. That's good. Okay, let's go to this. We got a couple good questions here. Let's see here. Matt Parker. Hey, Gina and Jeremy. I'm in my second week of NEPQ. Matt, which training program are you in? Because we have like 37 different versions. So let us know what the training program is called. I'm in because it'll tell me if it's more advanced and industry specific or if it's more basic and generalized. Okay, because we train every industry. I'm my second NEPQ. I'm in heavy construction equipment sales. That's a big industry we train. Okay, 3.0, that's good. That's our mid-range. That's a good one for you to start in. I do B2B cold call and inbound leads. How long do you train rehearsal questions before you cold call? Trying to do it every day before I speak to clients. Love learning more. So, Gina, especially the first year when you were going through the training, how much time did you put into like rehearsing the questions and your tonality to really, when you got on the phone or in person, you weren't really thinking, you just knew what to do?
I practiced a lot. The first year was my rough year because this does not like I know NEPQ and I can close any sale. I miss a lot of sale because of my mistake.
Yeah.
So
well, you still made six figures, going from 0 to 6 figures. Not bad, but compared to what you do now, completely night and day difference. Keep going.
Yes. So I put a 3x5 card everywhere in my car, in my purse, in my restroom, in my living room. Wherever I be there, there's a flip question, like a question like a situation. What should I ask? And what is like education question or consequent question? So I've learned from that, and I try to practice my brain to remember.
Yeah.
Like actor, like I know what to ask, and just say like lay back a little bit, pausing, just my tonality. Sometimes I just practice by myself at the night time.
No, it's really good. Matt, to answer your question there with Gina, I think she made some really valid points. Is you have to view yourself as like an actor or actress in Hollywood. Why does Julia Roberts get paid whatever $20 million a film compared to somebody else who might even look similar to her, that has been in Hollywood for 10 years and is still waitressing tables because they can't get a role? What's the difference? Is it just because Julia Roberts was just magically more talented? Unlikely. It's because she put in a lot more work becoming an actress and learning the skills it takes to engage an audience. One of the biggest things that they train you in acting school is even how to use your facial expressions to trigger different emotional drivers in their audience's brain. That's why the best actors and actresses, you never turn their shows off, because they keep you engaged. How do they keep you engaged? Their tonality, their body language, their facial expressions. That triggers emotions in your mind. Can you imagine if Tom Cruise or whoever was on TV and he just talked like this the entire time and his tone sounded the same with everything he said and the questions he asked, and he didn't really move his his body around and it just seemed like this the whole time, you would turn off the show after about 5 minutes because it was so monotone that you lost curiosity, you lost engagement, okay? So you want to think of yourself as a Hollywood actress. I always say this, you got to, and I'll even pull up the exact quote because I wrote this down a couple weeks ago and I'm like, I'm never going to forget what I just said here. I said this, I said you have to view yourself, let me see if I can find it here. You have to view yourself as an actor or actress always, yeah, here it is. Write this down, everybody. You're an actor or actress always on stage in a play that never ends. You're an actor or actress always on stage in a play that never ends. What does that mean? That means you're always ready for any sales situation, okay? Because where's the best place to practice tonality and verbal cues, bridging from question to question using verbal cues? Is it like on a sales call or an in-person meeting with a prospect at their business if you sell B2B, or virtual, or at their home if you sell B2C, or door-to-door? Is that the best place on the phone to practice? Or is it best to practice even on people you're talking to in everyday life with asking them different questions, not even that have anything to do with your industry, and being able to use your tonality and using verbal cues to bridge from question to question? See, if you start doing that, if you start practicing on like the person cutting your hair, or one of your neighbors, and you get into a conversation and you start using verbal cues to bridge from question to question where it sounds natural, when you get in a sales situation after 30 days of you doing that, you won't even think about what to do. You'll just instantly know what to do because it's in your instincts at this point. If you don't practice that much, it's like you're trying to figure out what to do on each sales call and you're going to get crushed. You're going to lose a lot of deals you could be making. So the best place that I learned sales and advanced body language and advanced tonality courses that I went through during my 18-year sales career before I started 7th level was in my car, driving around. How much time do you waste in your car every single day listening to music and your favorite political talk show or whatever you listen to, the news? How much money does that make you? Bagels, yeah. Zero. It makes you nothing. That doesn't mean you never have to listen to music. Maybe take 1 or 2 days on the weekend and listen to music, but Monday through Friday you should be in what? Sales mode, because that's your job, right? So if I'm always got sales training going on in my mind, if you're one of our clients, you should be listening to the 53-hour virtual training course over and over again in your car. You should also be listening to all the archived recordings of the weekly training sessions we have for our clients, like Gina does. And you do that for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days, 180 days, 1 year. It's pretty much impossible not to sell a lot more than you are now, like literally almost impossible. But if you hardly go through any training, or you're not even a client, you're like, I think I'm going to try to figure it out from watching Jeremy on some free 60-second reels or some basic YouTube videos, it's going to take you decades to learn what our clients learn in 30 days. And think of all the sales you're going to lose over the next 10 years trying to figure out on your own, even if you do figure it out. Which my background in college was human behavior, social dynamics, and human psychology. That's what I went to school for. It took me 12 years to develop NEPQ, and it's still being perfected. So if you're trying to learn from a 60-second reel on YouTube or Facebook or IG, it's going to take you 10 to 20 years to try to figure out what our clients learned literally within a few weeks. It's a big difference, okay? All right, Gina, let's keep going here. Going off on tangents. What's a good problem awareness question? There's a lot you have to ask for every industry, but what's a good one for your industry that we've taught you, and how do your prospects react to that? Hey, if you're a salesperson and you're wanting to learn how to actually sell, like even this client is, and those skills, you can go ahead and subscribe to this channel. My only warning is, if you're going to do that, do not share it with your friends who compete with you. So if you have friends that are in the same industry that you're having to compete with over sales, you do not want to show them this channel, because I can assure you the things I'm going to train you here, you don't want your competitors learning. Now, if you've got friends you want to share it with that are in a different industry or not compete with you, feel free to share it, subscribe. See you soon.
I usually talk about truth. Even though they say something, but the truth is behind. So I have to peel the onion, like layer to layer, and one at the moment when they feel it, and then they tell me like everything. Like some, like I asked like this with the 401k. I asked like, do you like the fluctuate? Go up and down in the stock market that cause your 401k sometimes make money, sometimes losing money, and you don't know how much you have it when the time you decided to retire. And then they say, I don't really like it. And then I ask the next question, what you don't like about? And then they tell me their problem.
Oh, what don't you like? Yeah, and I'll even help you reword that, because I know you just got back into Inner Circle, so there's some adjustments we've made for your industry on that first question that I think you're really going to like. So let's say two different things. Let's say if you're on the life insurance side of what you're doing compared to the annuity side. And let's say they say, oh, I've got a work policy of 80 grand or whatever it is, okay? I'm going to then implement it in that first problem where's question. So, I mean, you've already got this $80,000 work policy. I mean, what's caused you to feel like that's not going to be enough? And then what that question does is it immediately gets them to defend themselves on why they feel what they currently have is not going to get them what they want. See, that's them telling me why they have to change, but more importantly, they're telling themselves. Now, on the annuity side, I could do the same thing. So, I mean, you've got this 401k you've been contributing to the last 10 years. I mean, what's caused you to feel like that's not going to get you enough to be able to retire on? And then, Gina, what they're going to do is they're going to defend themselves on why what they have, 401k, let's say, is not going to be able to get them to retire on time, if that makes sense. Because typically in situation questions in your industry, we're finding out, okay, so if they're talking about retirement, so when are you wanting to actually, when do you feel like you need to retire? Oh, you know, I feel like I need to retire by, I'm just going to make up a number, 67. Okay, so you need to retire by 67. When do you really want to retire, though, if you could? Now, don't tell me, you know, you're 44. Don't tell me you're going to be able to retire in a year. But when do you feel like if you had the right plan, you'd really want to retire if you could? Well, I'm not really sure. Well, if you really thought about it, I don't know, maybe 61, 62. So why 61, 62 compared to 65? Well, if I retired 6 years early, I can then, and now they start to tell themselves on what they would do that extra 5 years if we're focused on retirement, right? So whatever they have, I can say, so you've been investing in the stock market the last 7 years. I mean, what's caused you to feel like that's not going to be enough to retire on? Or what's caused you to feel like you're not going to be able to retire by 62 with that strategy? Well, the reason why, and see, now they're telling themselves why what they have will never get them what they want. See what I'm talking about? See, you're still learning. There you go. Okay, let's go to a couple other questions. These are really good, Gina. Okay. Love this information. Thanks, you guys. I'm only in my first 6 months in sales. I want to learn the best ways. Matt, keep it up. Keep listening to those recorded, those archived. So you're an NEPQ 3.0 pro, Matt. So there's like 20 some training calls a week. Obviously, you're not going to go to all those live. We just have different one's tonality, one's objection handling, one's body language, one's questioning, and you pick the ones you need the most help with. But what you want to do, Matt, is while you're driving around the car, listen to the archived recordings of those over and over again. It just seeps into your subconscious mind where it becomes natural for you. Okay, that's why we enjoy Jeremy. The world is a stage and a play that never ends. Thank you, Virginia. Okay, Dana, I think it's Dana has a question. I work with insurance. Okay, this is good. I cold call businesses to offer a program that offers employees additional benefits while also lowering their payroll taxes to keep it simple. How would you go about getting their attention long enough to let them know I'm offering something that benefits them? Dana, are you one of our clients? Because we teach all of the cold calling training in even NEPQ fundamentals, but especially NEPQ 3.0 Pro, because in that 50-hour course, I want to say there's 4 to 5 hours of just cold calling, because your industry is a big industry we train. So you don't want to sound like everybody else. Is this John? Hey John, it's Dana with XYZ Company. Hey, the reason why I'm calling you is, what goes off in the prospect's mind? Salesperson trying to sell me something, because you sound like everybody else, because there's other people cold calling them from every company trying to sell them something all the time. So you instantly triggered fight or flight mode where they try to get rid of you. Oh, we already have somebody for that. Oh, we're not interested. And it's over. So you want to have pattern interrupts. So we teach you in the training program for clients different pattern interrupts that trigger the prospect to become curious enough to want to engage. Okay? So I'm assuming with the insurance you sell, employees additional benefits. Well, what do you mean? I work with, you call insurance companies. Is that what you're saying? I call businesses to offer a program that offers employees additional benefits. Are you talking about like health benefits or like different employee benefits? Is that, because employee benefits is a big industry, so is health benefits. We're also lowering their payroll taxes to keep it simple. So you'd want to come up, I'd have to look at what we have for your industry back there, but maybe DM me, Dana, and because that's a really, like your question would be like an hour training for me to show you what to do. But DM me here in the Facebook group, and somebody will message you, and you can talk to our account managers about different training programs on cold calling, so you don't have that problem. That's what I would do, because what you're asking me would probably take me about 30 minutes to show you exactly what to do. Okay, let's keep going. What's the difference between NEPQ 2.0 and 3.0? So Keith, 2.0 is just our virtual training portal, and that's it. So that's like, I want to say it's either, I just added more content in it. So we update the training material about once every 6 to 8 months. We add more training in it and we tweak it, okay? And so that's about I think it's 51 hours of sales training with me. That's all virtual, but it's recorded, right? So they're little video segments. I mean, Gina, they're 5 to 10 minutes long, about 51 hours. Now but that's it. There's no group training. There's nobody to role play with that has mastered NEPQ, so you get it down for your industry. Now 3.0 Pro is where you work, you have the portal, the 51-hour portal, but you have group training calls every single week with our sales trainers. I even do one of those a week that is industry specific, where I break down each phase of NEPQ and I show you different industry specific questions for all the different industries, probably including yours, Keith, because you wouldn't be here if we didn't train your industry, okay? So 3.0 Pro gets more industry specific, but that's where you're going to work with our sales trainers on your script. You're going to work with them on your tonality, role playing, which is a big deal, because how can you role play like with your spouse, a cousin, another salesperson or company if they haven't mastered NEPQ? That's like Michael Jordan taking advice on shooting from a coach who doesn't really shoot that well. Probably not a good thing. You want to be able to take advice from people who have already mastered the thing you're mastering, not somebody that doesn't even know it themselves, okay? So 3.0 is all the weekly training calls on advanced tonality, advanced body language, the nuances, because if I taught all the nuances of every single industry on the planet, how long do you think that virtual training portal would be? You're talking like 30,000 some hours, right? You can't train all that in 50 hours. So you have to have weekly group training questions where you can ask questions to our trainers. There's training on advanced objection handling. So you're bringing the objections you're struggling with. Our trainers show you how to overcome them for industry. That would be the difference. So Keith, just message me and we'll point you in the right direction if you're looking to get in that training program. Okay, Gina, I'm coming back to you. So there's other problem awareness questions we have to ask, okay, for your industry included. What's a good solution awareness question? Because as you know, it's not enough to get the prospect to tell you all the problems. That's just half of the equation. We then have to get them to see and feel what the future looks like once the problems are solved. So what's a good solution awareness question we've trained you that really gets them to see what that future looks like?
After the consultation, I usually ask them, just want to make sure that I don't make a mistake like all the agent does. So I said, like, before we talking today, have you been out there to looking for something like similar like this? And I listen to them, depends on the situation. And I just give them some solution awareness, like what if they don't do this? in the next 5-10 years, what will be happen with their family or their financial or anything.
Yeah, you're talking about the first half of solution awareness. So, and even in the second half, we're more future pacing, right? So with your industry, because I'm looking at the scripts for your industry right now, I've got them up here. So I might, depending on what they bring up is how I'm going to tweak the question I'm about to ask, right? I'm not just going to ask the question on my script. If their answers are a little bit different from the questions, I have to tweak those next questions on the spot. That's what we teach you how to do. So I might say, so let's say if they're focused on retirement, let's say with the annuities you're selling and they want like a stable return that protects their principal. Let's just say that. So I might say, so let's say that we come in, we're able to help you, retire, earlier than you thought, 67, maybe down to 61, 62. Having that extra 5 years, what would you do with the extra 5 years in your retirement? Then they start telling you what they would do with those extra years of retirement. Now that's all logical, right? Because they're just telling you, oh, I would go on a trip. Oh, where would you go? They talk about Switzerland. What would you do in Switzerland, right? I'm getting them to focus on the future, right? Those are questions I'm going to probe and clarify. And then so they're giving me logical answers. I'd get a new car, I'd do this. That's all logical. Human beings don't make binding decisions on logic, though they make them on emotion. So then, as you circle around and say, being able to do that though, what would that do for you personally? Oh my gosh, it would relieve so much stress if I had more time with my grandkids. Well, in what way though? See, and I'm opening them up emotionally where they're reliving that pain of not having what they want, but they're starting to see what the future is going to look like once those problems are solved from what you're offering. When you ask those questions, how do your prospects respond to you?
They start to tell me a lot of things that they never tell me before, because they realize that if they don't do this, this is going to happen. But if they decided to move the 401k to somewhere it's like stable and give them a lifetime income, they're going to have 5-6 years traveling with their loved one that they wish they never did it before.
Yeah, no, 100%. Okay, let's go through another question that I'm going to show them. When we'll talk about kind of some consequence questions and how to use those for different industries. Let's see, got a question here. I'm in B2C sales, dermatology. What course should I start with? It depends on how much more you want to sell. So that question, we have 37 different training courses. So the more advanced you go in, typically the more you sell, right? Because you learn more. So typically you can't start in our most advanced training program with this advanced inner circle because you have to get certified in the other training programs first. So there are some programs that we don't let anybody start right off the top because they're a little bit too advanced for somebody who is brand new to NEPQ. It'd be over your head. So you would either start, our average client starts in a program called NEPQ 3.0 Pro. And that's where we have the 51-hour virtual sales training course, okay, that you'll go through continually. And then you have the weekly training and coaching sessions with our sales trainers to help you kind of learn different scripting, tonality, and how to tie it into what you sell. So our average client starts with NEPQ 3.0 Pro. And once you get certified into that, which I believe you have to be in that for at least 1 to 2 months, you can graduate and get into our advanced inner circle program. But you have to start at 3.0 Pro at least. You can't start in the most advanced stuff. Or some people start in the basic stuff, NEPQ 2.0, but that's maybe 20% of our clients, probably 70% are starting in 3.0 Pro. It's more advanced where you're just going to sell more. You're learning more advanced skills because we have more time to train you than just a course. You now have group sessions where you can get questions answered and things. So that's probably the course most people would start. So your industry as well, we train people in your industry as well. I've seen testimonials from your space. Okay, let's see, what's another one here? I'm in NEPQ 2.0. Question, what's a good situation question that could lead into problem awareness for sales of websites and full marketing systems to real estate agents? That's a big industry we train. What are you doing now or focus on creating a website broker? Okay, so if you're a marketing agency, you're not selling them leads or branding, right? You're selling them, the real estate agents, the results of what the leads and branding do for them, which is to get them more listings, which makes them more sales, which makes them more money. That's what you're selling, Christy, not leads. So, I mean, we already have scripts for this. Try to get into, hopefully you get certified in 2.0 quickly so you can get into Advanced Inner Circle, because that's all industry specific, and you'll have all the scripts for all of your industry, because that is probably one of the top 30 industries we train now, marketing agencies and even to real estate agents. So I might say, okay, so one of my first situation questions would be, so walk me through, what are you doing now to generate leads and gain listings? Oh, I do this, I do that, right? Okay, and then I'm going to break it down. Let me even find, Gina, do you got a few minutes where I can help this lady?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And then I want to get back into what we were doing here. And then I'm going to find, and I'm going to go through, actually, you know what? I think I have it right here. Maybe I can pull up a script here for you for your space. Let's see here. You're in luck today. Goodness gracious. What am I going to do? Let's see here. Oh, yeah, right here. Okay, perfect. Okay, so walk me through. What are you doing now to bring in new leads and new listings? Okay, and how long have you been doing that? Okay, now after I find that out, then I'm going to ask them, okay, and what is the average home price in your area? Okay, and how many leads are you getting like on a, here, let me share my screen real quick. We're just going to help her out real quick. See that right there? There you go. Okay, and so these type of questions are your situation. Oh, and how many leads are you getting on average per month? Okay, what about referrals? I'm just making this up. Oh, I get about 60 leads a month. Okay, and how many listings are you getting on average every month from those 60 leads? Oh, you're only getting 3? Okay, now out of those 3, how many are actually closing? Only 2. I'm just, this is basically them answering. So if you're getting 60 leads a month, what do you feel is causing you to only get 3 listings from those? So I'm seeding doubt that maybe the marketing agency they're using or whatever they're doing for lead gen doesn't really work that well compared to what we do, okay? Then I'm asking what their commission is, average per home. Then I'm going to help them do the math on their calculator. So, okay, what's on the math? Do you have your phone? Okay, so if you're losing on average 4 closings a month times 8,000 each, what's the math on that? And they're going to add it up on their calculator. Okay, so you're losing about 32,000 a month in commissions that you should be making if you just had a better lead type. Now, what did I just do there? I'm seeding doubt in their mind. And now what am I doing? Because they added up on the calculator how many listings they're losing because of their leads, now they see a visual number. For this prospect, they said they're losing 32,000 a month in commissions. So when you come back and bring up that your marketing agency, let's say, is a monthly retainer of, I don't know, I'm making it up, $4,000 a month or $3,000 a month, now they're comparing the $3,000 a month price point to what? Losing 32,000 a month. You see how I'm making a gap there where now the cost of $3,000 or $4,000 seems pretty cheap instead of losing 32 grand a month. You see what we're doing there? Okay, hopefully that helped you. There's a lot more to that. You got to learn tonality, but try to get into 3.0 Pro where we teach that in Advanced Inner Circle. Okay, Gina, I'm going to come back to you. What's a good consequence question that we've trained you for your industry that really helps people see the consequences if they don't do anything about changing?
Usually I ask like, if you don't do anything about this to this, that means move the 401k to the annuity that can help you to keep the principal and make good money and get ready for your retirement, and you have extra 5-6 years to spend with your loved one. So what if you don't do this in the next 5-10 years? So what's going to be when you're going to actually retire? And when you retire, what do you think? Do you have enough money to spend the money the rest of your life? Something like that. So it depends.
It depends on what they say, right? So I'll give you another example here, and you'll find this in the Inner Circle scripts as well. So if you're on annuities right here. So, I mean, what is your retirement going to look like if you just stick with Ameriprise's strategy and you keep having all these ups and downs in the markets? I mean, how would we be able to retire by 63 with all that? See, I'm getting them to question, right? So with consequence questions, everybody, as you can see in this example, is I'm getting them to defend themselves on why they feel like they have to change and change now. That builds massive urgency for them to buy now, not keep pushing it down the road, okay? Now, whatever they say is what I'm going to plug into that consequence question. as you know, Gina, you're not going to use the same consequence question on every single prospect because they have different problems, right? And you're going to plug those problems in and the consequences if that doesn't change. Now, if they come back, they're like, oh no, I need to do something. Well, you certainly sound motivated, but for you, why look at doing this now? I mean, why not push it down the road and just hope and pray that somehow the market will just somehow stay consistent every year? Oh, there's no way the market can stay. See, I'm getting them to basically tell themselves that there's no way. See, why not push it down the road? See, they don't want to be like this person. Why not, why look at doing this now? Why not push it down the road like a lot of people do who just kind of hope and pray that somehow the market will stay consistent every year? And if you're in that industry, they know that obviously the market's never going to stay consistent. Okay? All right, that's really good, Gina. So see, there's the same things you're learning here. Now tell us about the results. So from what I understand, you're the #1 rep in your entire company out of, there's 2,500 salespeople in your company. What type of level do you have to get with income to get up to that level? I just have to know.
I work with different IMO, and they are 99% financial advisor, and they have like very good experience, like 20 years. The youngest one is like 15, 20 years. I'm the youngest one. I'm the only female in this company.
Yeah.
I work a lot of hours for training myself.
Yeah.
And my work is very consistent.
Yeah.
I do video every week. I post on YouTube every 2 times per week for a few years. I never stopped doing that, and I still learning, even though I'm not in a circle for maybe 2 years and a half. But I still listen to your video and practice every day.
Yeah.
So I pump up from like few years, like the last time we talked about 300,000. I can double my income.
So okay, so I remember at the event, how much did you make? Now I want to make sure when we tell you guys these numbers, it doesn't guarantee you guys are going to make these numbers, because we can't guarantee you that you're going to get into our training and actually learn the material and actually use it. We can't force you to do that, right? So when we show you clients that are making these type of incomes, it in no way guarantees that you'll do the same, because we can't control you guys getting into our courses and actually doing the work as far as learning the skills it takes to get to that income. But what did you make last year? You told me, I just can't remember.
$550,000.
$550,000. Wow.
Yeah.
Type in me if you want to start learning the skills like Gina to start getting your closing percentages up to that type of level. And then what are you on pace for this year? I think you told me that you're on pace for even more this year.
Yes. And up to now, I can just update the number for you. I maybe close to 300,000 already.
Okay, so you're not even halfway through then. You're 4 months in.
So 2-3 months, I make more than 100K a month. So I believe I hit the millions very soon.
So your worst case scenario, you're gonna be close to 900 some thousand with the rate you're at. Well, hey, I just wanted to congratulate you. Everybody give Gina a round of applause. Well done. It takes consistency. It takes getting into the training. It takes learning the training, using it. Even little stuff that I showed you right there is going to help you sell more. So everybody tell Gina, hey, well done. Now type in me if you want to learn those skills for your industry to double or even triple your closing percentages. Type in me if you want to acquire those skills, because you don't have to, right, Gina? Like, what would have happened if you never got into the training years ago?
Yes.
Where would you be?
I will be nowhere. The first 2-3 years, I never missed any training from you. I participate any kind of training that you provide on live or Facebook or anything.
Yeah.
And then after that, after 3 years, I focus on marketing, training myself, and I have to meet clients. And I miss the training, just not like I don't want to, but I listen to the recording a lot. And in my car, in my purse, always have a book of your script from 3.0. So I try to remember whenever I go, and until now I still learning. That's why I met you a few months ago, and 8 days later I will be at the.
Always learn. You're going to be at our next live event here in next week, like a week from now. So you're always learning, and that's why your sales keep going north, rather than salespeople who stop learning. Their sales, unfortunately for them, go south. I mean, if I could ask all of you a question: would it have been better for Gina as a single mom 7 years ago or 6 years ago, whenever it was? Would it have been better for her not to get the funding together to get into the training? Would that have been better for Gina's situation, not to invest the funds into the sales training? Would that have been the best option for her? Or was it a better option for her to invest the money in the training, acquire those skills, and get to the financial level she's gotten? See, these choices that we make about putting funds into sales training and learning skills so we know what we're doing, compared to just winging it, hoping and praying that somehow we're going to make more sales, affect what? Well, they affect our families' lives forever. Right? Gina, well done. Congratulations. Everybody that says me, we'll message you back here. Maybe Laura Metzger here on our team, you can message some of the people that said me if they're wanting to acquire those skills, and we'll let you guys maybe even meet with some of our account managers on Zoom and then go through some different training options if you want to start acquiring the skills that Gina is still acquiring, which is really cool. You know, look where she's at financially, but she's like, hey, I'm still learning because I want to go north of that. She doesn't want to settle for where she's at. So Gina, thanks very much for being on, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jeremy, and I hope everyone here just take an action, and your future going to be a legend. Jeremy is my legend in my family.
You're too kind. You were too kind. Hey, I'm going to come out there. I'm going to come out and see you when I'm out in LA next, when I have a speaking engagement. All right, Gina, we'll see you next week at the live event. Can't wait to see you again. Everybody else, we love you guys. We will see you next week when I do a live here next Tuesday in the Facebook group. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day. We'll see you next week. Thanks, Gina. Hey, hope that interview helped you today. Kind of learn more confidence that you can do it as well. Even if you're a new salesperson who's just getting started, or you've been in sales for a long time, you're a vet, and you just want to improve to sell more, that you can actually do that too. Your next step here, go and subscribe to this channel if you want to see more of these interviews from our clients I do every week, and if you want to see other sales training that I release every week on this YouTube channel. Hope that helped you today. See you soon.